What's up YouTube? My name is Gregory and you're on the channel Finance on Fire. And today in this video I would like to show you an example how you could use compound interest effect to start earning money on different platforms. And if you don't know what a compound interest effect is and how it works, you can check our latest video where I explain all the details about it. So yeah, the market for investments in personal loans has grown extremely over the past few years. Even banks are starting to invest in P2P loans. But what is actually P2P and why is it important and how can we benefit as an investor? Usually I'm trading more with stocks and options, but in my opinion it's also important to have at least 5 to 10% of your cash in alternative investments for a better diversification. And here we'll take a look at what are the opportunities and risks when investing in P2P loans. Let's start by defining P2P finance. In a nutshell, P2P or peer-to-peer finance can be described as connecting borrowers who are looking for loans with lenders who want to invest their money in those loans. The process excludes traditional financial institutions and is often facilitated by P2P platforms. Since it's a direct exchange between the lender and the borrower, the process doesn't require involvement of banks and financial institutions. The P2P platform acts as an intermediary. It facilitates the process of lending and provides protection for both parties, the lender and the borrower. There are already several hundred different providers for P2P worldwide, with the potential to earn up to 15% annually. And it's not easy to pick the best one. Later in this video, we'll show you which one is our favorite. And you have to remember that it's not an ultimate choice. You can find your own, but I want to show you specifically this one. But first, let's take a look at how P2P loans work. The process of P2P investing is relatively simple. Once you have found a P2P lending platform you want to invest, you sign up to become a loan lender and decide how much money you wish to lend and for how long. You then add funds to your account and start investing in P2P loans. Most of the platforms provide you with a flexible exit options and allow you to stop investing at any time. So if your circumstances change, you have options to sell all your investments and receive all the interest that you have earned for these time periods. Now you are probably thinking, how do P2P companies make sure that I lend my money to people who will pay me back? With P2P platforms, the borrowers will apply for a loan and go through a verification process. Once their loan request is approved, they will receive a loan for the agreed period of time and will be required to make regular repayments of the borrowed amount, as well as interest each month. When it comes to alternative financing, the loan verification process is first completed by licensed lending partners who supply to the alternative financing platforms. But usually you also can see all the information about each loan, and they're providing special PDF with details of the person, for what purpose he was taking the loan, so you have freedom to play with it. Afterwards, the P2P platform itself is checking how risky all these investments and loans are or should be evaluated, and the borrower will keep up with their payments. So I personally chose Mintos as my P2P platform, and later in this video we'll go through this platform. I will show you examples how it works and how you earn money with it. I chose this one since this is one of the largest and most respected P2P platforms in Europe, and you can actually go to their office, arrange a meeting with with this company and discuss all your questions, everything you are interested in, and it's not registered in any offshore country. So in this way you can be sure that your money just won't disappear tomorrow. And this platform was also launched in 2015, and 310,000 investors funded already over 5.3 billion euros worth of loans on the platform, which makes Mintos by far the biggest player on this list. I love that Mintos allows me to diversify a lot within a single platform, and there is an enormous number of available loans with a payback guarantee. So payback guarantee means that if your loan will go in non-performing section, then the platform ensures that they will buy back this specific loan so that you won't lose your money. For instance, in my personal example, I'm investing on Mintos already 1.5 years, and all my default and non-performing loans, they were all bought by Mintos, so I didn't lose any money on this platform so far. Also, Mintos provides auto invest function, which is very reliable and has always kept me fully invested. It means that you don't have to go to the platform and buy each time new investments, invest in new loans. The platform will do all these actions for you, and you can just monitor and put your filters and ensure that you have control over loans, investments you are making. In addition, interest rates have been increasing over the past couple of months, with many buyback loans now offering up to 15.1% interest per year. And what are the risks and how to minimize them? The greatest risk when investing in loans is the same as what banks are experiencing, namely that the borrower can no longer or only partially repay his loan. However, some P2P platforms besides Mintos also offer buyback guarantee, in other words, secured loans, and this means that this risk should be mitigated. However, since many platforms are still relatively young, a further risk from investing in P2P loans is that the creditworthiness might be assessed a little inaccurate. In addition, there is also risk that individual platforms may just go bankrupt, making it more difficult to follow your loans project. But as far as I can see, even in such a difficult period of pandemic, none of the platforms, I mean big ones, have gone bankrupt, and even Mintos ensures that it still stays interesting for investors and provides different options how you can keep up with this platform. And now let's just jump into Mintos and I will show you practical examples. And now I would like to show you a real example how I invest on Mintos. And yeah, the topic on everyone's mind at the moment is COVID-19 and how that changes things in the investment space. I wanted to get that right out of the way before we start. I'm not worried about Mintos positions and survival in the next few months. They have a very competent management team and have taken sensible measures to make sure that investors and Mintos itself and borrowers are treated fairly in these exceptional circumstances. And also, I haven't received any default or bad debts in this period, so I didn't lose any money so far. Plus, you have to remember that there are no costs to investors when using Mintos. Your taxes are to be declared and paid in your country of residence, and Mintos does not withholding any taxes. Rest assured, though, that this won't be a hassle, as it's pretty straightforward to declare your income from P2P platforms in your tax returns. And if we start from the first page, which is overview, you just see 3 columns here. On the left, it's your balance with all the interests that you have received so far. In the middle, Mintos is calculating your average annual return rate. In my case, it's 11%, and you can see that I have earned so far 1026 euros for actually doing nothing. I just deposited my money, chose my strategy, and done. 1000 is here. And in the last section, you see all loans that I bought, like not me, but the Auto Invest program. And if you go by number, you see what loans are non-performing. And the good thing is that I have not received any default or bad debt so far. And this means that the borrower has delayed their payments, but it's not a big deal. They usually pay, but later with additional late payment fees. Now, if you go under Invest, you can see here all your investment strategies. You can build your own, but I'll just go briefly around here. Once you go and edit your strategy, you can see all the options that Mintos is offering to you, and you see that there are 70 different loan originators from 33 different countries, and every loan originator has its own rating. So I would just avoid all the loan originators that have default or low rating, like C, just to be on the safe side. So, and you see that it gives us 53 different loan originators. And also the last important option here is buyback guarantee. So you always want to be here on yes, since it's the main thing of Mintos. Also, you can choose what kind of loans you want to invest in, since all of them have different payment periods and different interest rates, as well as risk level. And if you go down below, you can actually choose what range of interest you would like to receive. And remember, the higher you choose, the high probability that there will be probably in default or with low rating. So I would like to choose something between 10 and maybe 12 or 13. These are the most safe ones. And also you can choose remaining loan term in months. If you take the maximum, most likely this will be like business loans and so on. So once you're done with your editing, just put your name, portfolio size, and done. You can start investing, and all your money will be invested in all the possible loans automatically. And usually when you put your strategy, you will see how many possible loans are open for you and your strategy. So I hope you enjoyed our video explaining how P2P credit works and what it actually is. So if you have any questions or suggestions, just post them into the comments below.